Good morning, students. Today we'll do the ozone layer in detail as well as the greenhouse effect in detail. So, till now we have seen that the ozone layer is present in the upper parts of the stratosphere from nearly 30 to 50 kilometers from the Earth's surface. This layer, we know, it is a boon to humankind as it protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun, which could cause cataracts or skin cancers in human beings and also destroy plant and animal life. Do you know that the troposphere also has ozone? But unlike the stratospheric ozone, this ozone is considered as a pollutant which can cause health hazards and can lead to global warming. We'll see how. See, in stratosphere, when stratospheric ozone is formed, ultraviolet rays act upon the oxygen molecules, which leads to the formation of ozone, consisting of 3 atoms of oxygen in a molecule, one ozone molecule. Whereas in tropospheric ozone, ultraviolet rays act upon the nitrogen dioxide, which has come from the automobiles, and thus ozone is formed, which is also a component of smog and can lead to health hazards like bronchitis, asthma, or other lung related diseases. Or it can also lead to global warming. Now, ozone can also be commercially manufactured by a machine known as ozonizer. Next comes ozone depletion. Human beings, by their various activities, they have led to depletion of ozone. We'll see them one by one. First of all, ozone is depleted 50% over the poles and over Antarctic, and ozone hole is discovered. You can see this is the ozone layer, and this can easily let the ultraviolet rays to reach the Earth's surface, and it can have disastrous effects. Now, why over the polar regions such depletion of the ozone? See, the cold temperature over there can lead to formation of stratospheric clouds, which can contain certain forms of chlorine or bromine. This chlorine can react with ozone and can break them to form ordinary oxygen molecules, thus depleting the ozone layer. Now, the human factors that cause ozone depletion, we'll see them one by one. See, release of certain synthetic chemicals like CFCs, standing for chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in refrigerators, air conditioners, fire extinguishers, or spray cans, etc. Again, the chlorines released from these gadgets can react with ozone and can break them to form ordinary oxygens. Next, flying of jet aircrafts. The nitrogen oxide released from them can react with ozone molecules and break them to form ordinary oxygen. Other factors include radioactive substances used in nuclear reactors like uranium, thorium, nitrogen fertilizers, and then certain air pollution disasters, which may be London smog occurred in 1952 in London, Bhopal gas tragedy, and Chernobyl disaster in Russia. These all led to the depletion of ozone. So that was about the ozone layer. Now come to greenhouse effect. I've told you earlier also that the earth is not heated up by the incoming shortwave radiation of the sun, but this heat is absorbed by the surface of the earth, and this absorbed energy is then radiated back in the form of long wave infrared radiations. There are greenhouse gases present in the atmosphere like carbon dioxide, water vapor, which can absorb, trap this outgoing terrestrial radiation, a part of it, and can re-radiate it to keep the Earth's lower atmosphere warm. Now, this is the greenhouse effect, and it is very crucial for life. Even in the polar areas, this method is used in the form of glass houses, where they increase the temperature inside that glass house by this method to give the optimum temperature for the growth of plants. So these greenhouse gases are good for us, but if by continuous pollution from industries and automobiles, if we increase these greenhouse gases, there will be an increased absorption of this terrestrial radiation, and hence it will lead to increasing in the average temperature of the earth, which is known as global warming. So global warming is the average increase in the average temperature of the earth, leading to climatic changes in regional as well as global level. Now, effects of global warming. It can have disastrous effects. First of all, due to increased temperatures, there will be shrinking of ice cover. The polar ice sheets and ice glaciers will melt away, which can lead to the rise in level of sea level, and hence small islands like Maldives can get completely submerged under water. Then we have beautiful coral reefs which support a very rich ecosystem, and they are known as the rainforests of the sea. They are a home of a number of marine life. It is said that 90% of the coral reef is adversely affected in the Indian Ocean because of global warming. Global warming can also adversely affect the rate of evaporation around the globe, and consequently precipitation on the Earth's surface, which can have adverse effect on the ground, and consequently it will affect the crop production. So what are the remedies? How can we check global warming? First of all, we have to encourage more and more planting of trees by afforestation, and we have to discourage deforestation. We have to cut greenhouse gas emissions from factories, automobiles, CFCs, from various gadgets, and discourage certain fertilizers, nitrogen fertilizers, usage of fertilizers in agriculture, and we have to encourage and research more in the field of alternative energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, which are eco-friendly. So that was about the ozone layer and global warming. We'll meet in the next class.